Hey guys, this is Polish Matt. Today is July 5th, 2017, and we have a beautiful Wednesday of the summer. This is yet another European motorcycle night in Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a bunch of European bikes. It's a bunch of classics, a bunch of custom stuff, and I'm gonna take you on a journey to figure out what Lincoln has to offer during those events. Let's get this started. Kawasaki KZ1000, pretty rare. Anyway. Of course, every time in these events we have because it's a European motorcycle night, we have the so-called, most important brand, the BMW. Right? The logo is the propeller. They started building airplane engines, at least that's what I know. Okay. And then eventually they started building motorcycles for military, and then eventually they started going. They had this terrible era in like 60s to like 80s. That the bikes were great, super reliable, but very ugly. And then in the late 90s, early 2000s, they started going back and say, okay, like people deserve some looks. So they hired a bunch of, stylists, stylists and all of a sudden,
it's a nice
you
got.
Yeah.
Your hobby.
We have Ducatis and KTMs, so Austria and Italy. We have Vespa, I guess Italy again. Then what is this thing? What is the Cushman? So what's the story behind the Cushman? What's the story behind the Cushman? Do you know?
Well, they built them for a lot of years.
Yeah, but what was it supposed to be? Like just like a scooter?
Yeah, it's just a little.
Okay, but yeah, they're cute, and I like the European style of the headlight and the Junak. And the engine is a single cylinder, 4-stroke.
Yeah, it's an OMC engine, 4-stroke.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. No, that's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable design.
Yeah. Hey, I just lost a damn Kickstarter.
Right. Like, is there a company that still makes something for them?
Yeah, and I'm sure I can still get it, but I'm gonna try and backtrack and go home and find it.
Okay, cute little Vespa with a sidecar. Pretty cool design. Looks like it's very light. It probably doesn't need much tubing and stuff. And then we go, Buell. That's American. Why is this here? Oh, and then, okay, we go back to BMW. Big RT, basically often used in Europe as a police vehicle, especially in Poland and Germany. And then we have the classic, also police vehicle, R66. There's also a popular R65. I don't really know what the prefix means, but whatever. That's the Rich Goodwin's rig with the sidecar. And then we have a Triumph Rocket 3 with a sidecar. Pretty rare. And now we get the knucklehead. No, maybe not like 30s, 40s would be like a flathead. Then like 50s? Before the panhead would be the knuckle. Then there would be the panhead, and then there would be the shovel head, I think. Yeah. But this is a beautiful covers for the rockers and for stuff, right? Beautiful. Piękny, it's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of people polish them out.
The bicycle style.
Yeah. No, that's the way it used to be,
Suspension under the seat.
Yeah, yeah, right. But it's more of a rider suspension than the actual bike suspension. Kind of funny. And then we get something very pretty here. 754. Now let's see. Single disc in the front. Speedometer with the cable on the right hand side, which is kind of weird. And then we have a drum brake at the back and a kickstand. So it's probably late 70s, I would say, maybe. Let's check out. I can't see it. Well, I would have to ask. We're going deeper and deeper and further every day, pushing the boundaries as it goes. So we have Honda Hawk. What is the 450 cc twin kickstart? Carbureted, of course, very old school looking carbs. I don't know which year is this. Anyway, KTM, meh. And then we go with some dirty Bonneville. I wanted to rent one of those, but they didn't let me, I didn't have enough money. MV Augusta, of course. Beauty as always. But what do you want? You get what you paid for. You pay a lot, you get something very, very nice. Little Triumph here. Another sidecar rig, as Rich calls it, sidecar outfit with the Moto Guzzi, yeah. Another, what is this, KTM Adventure. No one cares about KTM Adventure. Then we have the beautiful Ducati. That's a really pretty one. Really nice, beautiful gold inverted fork. Dry clutch, obviously, open case, because why the hell not? Because why the hell not? And of course carbon fiber covers for the timing belts. I think it's run through by belts. And then all these beautiful setups with the cooler, big water cooler. The bottom one could be the oil cooler, and it looks like it is. Yeah, pretty stuff, pretty stuff. Very nicely made. Beautiful stuff. Anyway, going back, a bunch of BMWs. No one cares about. And Ducatis, Ducati Monster. Single or double-sided swing arm? Because who wants a Ducati Monster with double-sided swing arm? I'm sorry, no one does. Oh, Nighthawk S. Yeah, when you read a bunch of forums online, they always praise this one because of the very light wheels and all these kind of more sporty attributes. But looking from a perspective, how sporty is that? I don't know. And we get the Kawasaki. Screw the Concours. That's new. All right, we're going back to the main alley, looking at some bikes. There we go. What is this? Like a little scramble track. This is a rare stuff. BSA, very, very old brand. Kind of forgotten. British, I guess. Nice helmet though. Looks just like mine. Yeah. Let's go the Guzzi way. The only proper way of building a V-twin, which is no 90 degrees transmission except for the final driven gear. Kind of like Honda CX. I had a friend who had a CX 500, and of course the biggest problem is to find those the valve covers, because they always crack when you lay the bike down.
Oh, yeah, right.
So they're always lost, and they're always rewelded multiple times, and they always fail on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a niche. If you can make a company to CNC those,
yeah.
that probably would work. Oh. This is a Dyna or what? Something like that with the sidecar. And there we have a classic BMW with the sidecar. Now you can get a Dnieper, Russian bike that was the plants were transferred to Soviet Union before the war.
I think it's a BMW.
I know, but you can get identically looking bike from Russia, just poorly made, but it looks identical. M72. So the original, I think, BMW will be R71. That'll be the one we're talking about here. I guess that's the one, maybe. I would have to ask the owner. And then the Russians built M72. That was basically a copy of BMW R71, and they just called it M72. That was a military motorcycle like this. And then they started innovating and spinning a bunch of copies. So they had one, for example, the Dnieper MT-09, that had a drive for the wheel of the basket. So you basically had two-wheel drive on this. And even today, you can still, you go to Europe, you can find a bunch of Russian bikes that are made in Soviet Union back, or whatever, and they look identical. And people try to trick you and sell you and tell you that this is a BMW, where it's not. And we're going further, almost identical. I really don't like the design of the tank. I hate it. It looks like a coffin. No, I don't. And then we get the GS. So this is an interesting bike. I think it's 90. Yeah, it is 90. I mean, but man, like you will hit your head on the ground before you hit the cylinder on the ground.
I just didn't like
It's beautiful.
Piękny, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
the fact that the engine stuck out.
Oh man, it's absolutely awesome. And then we have what is this? The La Verda? I have no idea what it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds like it, but it's the first time I have seen this one. This is an interesting brake. Yeah, but very interestingly realized. Like the way there is like this thing pulls this thing, And internally, of course, it opens one side, but then this has to push that one so that internally it opens the other side, which is kind of silly, because if they actually had a thing that spreads it like this, right there wouldn't be a need to do this, but whatever. Old days engineering. Oh, look at this beautiful.
Piękny, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, absolutely amazing, award-winning, absolutely super turbo crazy Honda Magna. Yeah. Huh? Nah. I don't know what makes you think that.
You know the flag.
What about the flag, dude? Oh yeah, it is mine. Wow. Yeah, right? The XRs. These are all like L version, right? What is this, a Grom or Z125? That's a Grom?
No.
Looks more like a Z125.
That's what.
You work in a dealership and you don't know?
They look a lot alike.
They look the same. Well, this is, if that is what it claims it is, I mean, this really is the so-called Sahara, then you're probably looking at the most expensive bike here. Like, seriously. Alright, the Sahara case. It turned out that this is not an actual so-called Sahara. I think the Sahara is supposed to be BMW R75 and it's supposed to have a completely different engine. And that one was just a simple imposter. Impostore! Alright, that basically concludes today's episode of Holy Schmatz Adventures in Nebraska. Right, that's basically it for today, and hope I'm gonna be able to, put some sort of video together with it, and see you next time. Bye.
It's piękny, it's beautiful. It's piękny, it's beautiful. It's piękny, it's beautiful. It's piękny, it's beautiful. O kurwa.